Thanks for being here. I'm Sharon Tapper. I'm the Executive Director of the Music Managers Forum US. If you're not already familiar with us, we are the Music Managers Forum US, established in 1993. We are the leading trade association for artist managers and self-managed artists in the US. We are a registered 501c6 not-for-profit. We rely on the support of our members and the generosity of our sponsors to provide our programming. If you're not already a member, please consider becoming a member by going to our website, which is MMF-US.com, and click on the apply button. Membership is usually $100 a year, but first-time members can join for $50 a year, and the discount code is on that application page. We serve the needs of our community in several ways. The core of what we provide is education, such as today's webinar, where we're able to provide managers and self-managed artists with continual professional development within an ever-evolving community. Also, through advocacy, we provide a collective voice through which to affect policy change for a fairer and more transparent music industry. We also provide networking opportunities, both virtually in the form of webinars and through in-person events, through our community meetups and all-day summits. And it's here that our community gets to learn, share, and connect with one another. We have 2 summits coming up later this year. In Austin, we're going to be in Anton's on Wednesday, October 18th. And in Boston, we're going to be at the Berklee College of Music. They've invited us to bring our summit on campus on Saturday, December 2nd. We also have some chapter events coming up. So next week in New York, we've got our New York chapter mixer happening on Tuesday, October 3rd at Barry Electric. And in LA, our mixer there is going to be on Tuesday, November 14th at Desert Spot 5 in Hollywood. So we hope to see you at one of these events. We're also gonna just quickly bring you up to speed so you can stay informed of who we are and what we do and our plans. So, you can sign up for our bi-weekly email updates and quarterly newsletters by going to our website. It's a very simple click there. Follow our social media channels at MMF-US. We are also part of a larger network, which is the International Music Managers Forum. They represent music manager forums in 65 countries around the world. That gives us global connectivity with managers and the businesses there. They exist in Europe, Latin America, Asia, Australia, and Africa. So the reason we're here, we are delighted to have IndieFlow's community and social media manager, Jordan Torres, and her guest Kiba, who will talk to us about how IndieFlow can help you streamline every aspect of your workflow, improve your productivity, enable your team to collaborate better, and more effectively propel the growth of your artist career. So, Jordan, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Sharon, and also thank you to everyone at MMF-US for this amazing platform. Like Sharon said, my name is Jordan Torres, and I'm the Community and Social Media Manager at IndieFlow, and I'm also joined here with Kiba, who is a musician and an IndieFlow artist, but I'll let him introduce himself in a minute. Before we dive right in, I just want to tell you guys a little bit about IndieFlow, if you're not familiar with the company. So IndieFlow is an all-in-one management tool. So you can jumpstart music projects, you can manage your releases, you can collect your royalties, everything that you would really need as a self-managed musician or a manager is really just all in one platform. So 3 of our core values as a company is the music business mindset. We're here to cater to the modern DIY musician and be the backbone of your career so that you can take control and really be the CEO of everything that you're doing. Our next value is simplicity and education. We're here to empower our users. Our tools are super user-friendly, so even if you don't have experience with the music industry or know about the music business, anyone can pick up our tools and use it. And we also make sure to go out of our way to educate our users, which we do through our social media content, as well as our blogs. And our third value is creating community. We're a platform that's by musicians for musicians. And we've really just combined people and technology. As you'll hear in this webinar, you know, we're a team of people who reach out to our artists, have connections with our artists, and know our users. So we're here just so you don't get lonely in this music business. And so that if you ever have any questions about the platform or about the industry at large, you know, we're here for you. So Kiba, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. Can you introduce yourself and, you know, tell us what you do, tell us about your experience in the music industry?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm glad to be here. My name is Rob, which is my real name. My artist name is Kiba. I'm basically, well, mostly an electronic music producer and DJ. I think the genre, like within the electronic space that I mainly focus on is like drum and bass, but I dabble with different sounds and different subgenres here. I've been producing music for about 15 or so years and then got into electronic music about 10 years ago. So it's been a pretty fun journey since then. I've been with IndieFlow for I think a little bit over a year now. So decent amount of time. It's still not a ton of time, but so far it's been really great. I've got to meet a lot of people on the team there and I got to chat with them directly, which has been really nice. And yeah, ever since I've joined, it's been like it feels like a really supportive thing to be a part of, and a lot of cool features there that are super helpful for myself since I am a pretty much self-managed artist. So yeah.
Awesome. So what were some of like the challenges that you feel like you were facing as an indie artist, like especially pertaining to the business side prior to being a part of the IndieFlow family?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good question. So I think one of the biggest things is, as being like a self-managed artist, is of course you've got, on top of making music itself, there's like a million things that you have to juggle in terms of like promo, planning for marketing, all of that stuff. And it felt for me pretty overwhelming to do all of that on top of, you know, what I really want to do is of course make music. So I was kind of, you know, scattered on different platforms trying to get everything together. And what's nice, I think, what initially drew me into IndieFlow was the fact that it is, you know, an all-in-one solution pretty much. So I kind of like that. The idea that I was able to just log into one platform and there has pretty much most of the things that I need. And yeah, it helped keep me pretty organized and just having, you know, all my like project planning in one place, as well as, you know, uploading my music and files and artwork and all that. So yeah, I think that was kind of the main thing that drew me into IndieFlow.
Awesome. Awesome. You mentioned, you know, being able to have all the tools like in one place and like being able to upload, you know, your music, cover all of the things that you like need. I guess like what are like take us through like your process as an artist, or like, you know, you're logging into like the platform, like what are some of the key things that you look at to and utilize to optimize efficiency?
Yeah. Okay. So usually I'll start logging in or like using the platform after I've got like a new release finished. Because I tend to like to release singles kind of a one at a time thing, as it's a little bit easier for me to focus on promoting one thing versus like a bunch of things at the same time. So usually like I'll have a song finished and ready for release, log into the platform. And the first thing that I do is I'll go to, I think it's called like the release, I forget the exact term for it, but I think it might be the release planner. And from there, they have like a full template, which basically I can just select that, type in like the name of my project, and then it builds out like an entire release plan, which is super detailed. And what's actually nice about it is it kind of, for me, acts as like a guide of, all right, what are the important things I need to do in terms of setting up like promo, making sure I've got all the right assets ready to go and uploaded. So yeah, it's just a really nice checklist that I can go through and make sure that I've got everything in place, which is nice because prior to this, I had like my own plan of what I would do for releasing music and such, and it kind of worked decently for me, but I wasn't really sure if, you know, it was like everything that I needed to cover or like recommended best practices and stuff like that. So being able to have this release planner template has been super helpful, and I've really enjoyed using that a lot.
Awesome. Yeah. I'll show you guys like what the release planner looks like. So we can really dive into it. But just going off of like talking about the release planner, I think one of like the best things about our platform is like we're really here to help you be accountable and reach your goals as an artist. So, you know, you can put due dates on like whatever thing that is in your checklist that you're trying to achieve, and like we'll, you know, give you emails about it. And like Kiba was even saying, like we have different checklists like built out for your different types of needs, whether you need a release plan, whether you need a music video checklist because you're putting together a music video or something like that. So it's the checklist, and that's like one of my favorite tools on the platform because it really guides you to plan and be accountable for the things that you might not be thinking about as an artist or as a manager because you're so focused on the music side. And like Kiba even mentioned, like you can put all of your files in there and everything that like you would need surrounding the release just in one place, which is super great. So you mentioned like having like personal connections with like team members at IndieFlow. Like I would love to hear like who you've been working with, what your experience has been like.
Yeah, for sure. So I think the main person that I've been connecting with there is Thomas, who I think might be actually on this call right now. But yeah, I was actually surprised when he reached out to me because when I signed up for IndieFlow, I was, you know, coming from a different kind of like distribution service and everything, and I wasn't really sure like what to expect. And at the previous one that I was with, I never really talked to anybody on the team as it's kind of like, you know, not so much indie artist focused necessarily. So it was a surprise when he like reached out to me, and we actually got to hop on like a couple of video calls and chat one-to-one. So yeah, I think just being able to actually talk directly with people on the team at IndieFlow has been nice. They've been able to answer like a bunch of questions that I had, and just like I said earlier, make me feel like actually supported as an artist on the platform. So yeah, it's been, yeah, like I said, a really good experience.
That's awesome. Yeah, we definitely like encourage, like it's so easy to feel lost on platforms and be like, am I just like talking to like AI or like a computer or anything like that? But it's like real people who like care about the artists that we're working with. You mentioned like how it's kind of been different from other like project management or like music like tech companies that you've worked with in the past. Can you kind of like dive a little bit more about like what the like big differences in past experiences compared to like what it's like at IndieFlow and like why you've chosen to stay with us for so long?
Yeah, for sure. So yes, like I said, I think that kind of like direct connection with the team is really, for me at least, it's been a pretty big thing. For the previous companies, like if I wanted to get support, I'd have to, you know, do like reach out to like customer support, and it would be like a support ticket. And it would take, you know, a few days to like a few weeks to get any response from that. And you know, of course, you know, that whole process doesn't feel like very much like a connection. It's just kind of, you know, going through the customer support, customer service pipeline to get help. Whereas with IndieFlow so far, it's been like very much, it feels like establishing a relationship with the team there, and just being able to actually like reach out and talk to them. And it's, you know, like people that I can like keep reaching back out to instead of like, you know, putting out a support ticket and then seeing who I get connected with and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think another thing that like makes our company unique is there are different tiers to how much you want support as an artist. Like you can have like a subscription to the platform, like Kiba does, and like we'll be there for you, like we'll help you, like if you have questions you can reach out to us, like, but it's still in some ways like it's still low touch, like we're not micromanaging your career or anything, but just helping you however you see fit. But then we also have like our ADP program, which is our artist development program, where, you know, we're helping with like the marketing plan and releasing the song and like pitching you for playlists, and really like taking a more hands-on approach. So whatever, you know, degree of help that you need or support that you need as an artist, we can help you with that. And you can kind of tailor your IndieFlow experience to who you are as an artist, or who you are as an artist manager, or a self-managed artist. And through our platform and, you know, the IndieFlow, us who work at IndieFlow and the IndieFlow community, like, you can get any varied level of support that you may need. So obviously, like, a lot of platforms are like, you know, kind of hard to manage. And there's oftentimes like a learning curve when you start like using a new platform. Like, from your perspective, like, do you find the IndieFlow like dashboard and like the interface like user friendly, and like, was it quick to adapt to it once you switched over to IndieFlow?
Yeah, I'd say it's been pretty, the learning curve for IndieFlow has actually been like really easy. I think the way that it's set up is super simple, and very straightforward. So there's not like anything too complex to you have to learn to be able to use it. And what's nice is like kind of going back to the release planners, everything, at least within there, is like interconnected. So like for example, one section would be like, oh, set up or like update your EPK to use for promotion for this new release. And there's like a link, you click the link, it goes to the EPK builder inside of IndieFlow, which is cool. So it's like everything is interconnected as well. And it, you know, you just kind of click through and it'll bring you to everything. So yeah, I'd say, yeah, it's been really easy to pick up. Like no like big hurdles or anything I'd have to get over.
That's awesome. Let's actually dive right in, and I'll show you guys who might not be familiar with what the IndieFlow platform looks like. So this is what it looks like when you first log into the platform. To those who may be familiar with the platform, we recently redesigned, got a little facelift, like all glammed up, so it looks fabulous. And we really like to make the process for artists and artist managers super simple. We divide basically a lot of what we do into 3 different buckets: plan, release, and promote. And you can see it's just up at the top, and we'll dive into those. But we also have things like our EPK creator, our merch designer, video maker, all of those things also highlighted on the main screen. So just diving into the planning, which is something that we talked about. When you go on, you can just easily create a project. And these are the different types of templates that we were referring to. They have, you know, populated templates already, so that, you know, if you have like if you're releasing a song, like, we have a full release plan. If you're planning a music video, we already have those things. But you can also create a blank project. So just clicking on an already created project, you can have the due date on there. And as you know, work on your goals, you can just check it off really easily. You can also write new tasks that you might think of that you might need. But of course, we already have a few common tasks there already populated for you. Then you can also store all of your files in one place. So if you have your release, like your different photos for it, different files, whatever you need. If you're releasing an album, this is like perfect for what the playlists are for. You can release, like, you can put multiple songs on the playlist. This plan is just for a single, so that's why there's nothing on there. If you have a management team or a bunch of people that you're working with, or if you're an artist and you want to share your plan with your manager or vice versa, it's super easy to do. With this, you can comment, you can collaborate, you can assign files and tasks to other people. So this feature really just, like, anything planning wise, it's perfect, and you can just put whatever you need on here. Also, we have our track library, and another tool that is so essential for managers is a calendar, of course. And you can upload your calendar directly to the IndieFlow platform. So like we said before, like, you really don't need to leave, like, everything that you need can just be in one place. We also touched on release. Obviously, you can release with us. We'll register you with a PRO, all of, like, the standard things. You can see your collaborations. And another thing that we touched on were our promotion tools, like the release link, which is just super easy. And again, all in one place. You already have your files there, so it's easy to create one. And of course, the EPK, which is, I think, one of the best tools on here. It already comes kind of structured, and you just pop in your information, your photos, your bio, anything, your press articles. And if you want to pitch to a venue, you can do it directly in our platform, which is super easy. You just look up the platform or look up the menu, add a little message, and then period. You got it. Just moving on to some other essential tools at IndieFlow that is definitely super helpful for managers is our analytics tool. You can connect your socials and see your streaming numbers, see what playlists you're on, and of course, like collect any royalties or cash out on the royalties right on the platform as well. So you kind of just have, like we said before, like one hub for everything that you would need. You can store your files, you can make plans, you can release, you can promote all in one place, which is great. I guess like before we move into the Q&A, like one last question, like why would you recommend IndieFlow to other managers or like self-managed artists? And yeah.
Yeah, so I guess coming from being myself being a self-managed artist, I think the main thing is having everything kind of consolidated into one spot will one save you, or at least has saved me a bunch of time in terms of like planning things out, and also just I don't know, it feels a lot more organized. Like as I said, just having one place to do everything. So you know, as a self-managed artist, you're juggling a million different things at the same time. So anything that can kind of like simplify it and reduce the amount of like things that you need to do overall is a big plus in my book. So that's I definitely recommend it. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sharon, I think we're ready to move on to the Q&A if there are any questions.
Hi. So this is like a roadmap. This really guides you through, certainly if you can't do what you don't know. And
Exactly.
it's, you know, I think we all need to learn these things. And the fact that you have it laid out in such a nice way, it really helps people. So that's great.
Yeah.
The support team and the fact you have access is also something I think we lack in these things. So that's really great. I noticed that there were people you could pay if you needed expert advice, which is great.
Yeah.
But are there levels at which they are included, or are they always add-ons? And if what are the price levels to use IndieFlow?
Yeah, that's a great question. So to answer the first part about the mentors, we actually have, and this is like really exciting. We're actually in the process of getting a lot of new mentors on our platform from all different places in the industry, press, A&Rs, people who've worked at major labels in the past, artist development specialists. So a really robust and diverse group of people. So definitely, if you're not already, follow our socials, you know, stay in tune, hop on our emailing list. Our socials are IndieFlow_me, and we'll be officially announcing who the mentors are and when you can start signing up for our sessions very soon. So that's like super exciting. But signing up for a mentorship session. So those sessions are one-on-one, just you and the mentor. And they'll help you, you know, just come with questions or whatever you want to make the session. The session is your time. So basically what the mentors will do is help you create action steps and give you a little, even more of a roadmap. And this is, again, you know, another layer of where the platform is what you want. If you want a little bit more assistance, we got you with that as well. But yeah, the mentors are here to give you a roadmap and help with whatever you need. And at the end of your call with the mentor, your mentor will share on the release planner, like action steps and like trying to get like, you know, dates where you should try to get these action steps taken care of. And again, it's just another, first of all, it's always great to connect with more people in the music industry. So I think that's one of the great pluses of the mentorship program. But yeah, they're really here to just give you another step in the right direction. So the mentorship sessions is an additional cost outside of the platform subscription. And it's just like a flat cost per mentorship session. But in terms of our different tiers, so we have 3 tiers. We have a free tier, we have emerging artist tier, and we have the manager tier. So free, like you can't like there's like limitations on like how many releases. If you're an artist who's releasing a lot of music and like very serious about your career and has like a lot of output, like I can't say that I would recommend the free because you're not going to be able to do everything forever. So, you know, Yeah, any great platform comes with a
If you
cost.
start on one tier and you find actually I want to move to a different tier, there's fluidity of movement that you can have. You're not
Yes.
locked in and not able to move.
Yes, yeah, of course. So you're not locked in. Let me show you guys what the paid benefits are. So being on a paid tier means unlimited storage. So when I talk about that, I'm referring to uploading tracks, uploading photos, like uploading WAV files or anything else that you would, want to store. So you don't just have to plan your career in our platform. You can also store and have it be a hub for what you're creating. Distribution of EPs and albums is also included, the publishing admin. So if you're on a free tier, we will take like a percentage of the royalty just because, for managing the release. But if you're on a paid tier, then we don't do that and you keep 100%. Using and submitting things to the venue database is a paid tier. You have more checklists, unlimited video creation, unlimited page creation, and like I mentioned before, 100% masters of your royalty, or 100% of your master royalties. And this is something that's mentioned on the pricing points on our website as well. So if you forget after the call and want a little refresher, we do have that information to you guys. And if you're managing if you're managing multiple artists, of course, the manager plan is the route to go. With the manager tier, you get 3 artists per management package. And then you can also add artists as you, develop a roster of clients.
Very cool. We have a stack of questions now. Is this only available on the web or is there an app? Okay.
Yeah, an app is like our most common question. People are always like DMing and messaging our channels about that. So we have a website and you can use your website on your phone. The main thing that you can't really do on your phone is distribute a song, just because that'd kind of be hard to do on an iPhone or whatever phone. It's not the most ideal thing. But yes, we are in the works of, making the platform more accessible on iPhones and, eventually developing an app, because, that's something that our community is really asking for.
Is there a distribution platform that you're tied to, or is there, you can choose whatever distribution platform that you want? So if somebody's already with somebody, do they have to switch, or is there freedom of choice in that space?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we do have distribution. So it's always, if you're going to already have all of your files in one place, all of your assets in one place, in my opinion, it makes sense to just continue on and distribute with us. But you could still, if you still wanted to have a subscription, you can still have a subscription and not distribute with us. Like, it's not a requirement by any means. You can still access all of our tools and everything that we have to offer, but you don't have to distribute with us if you're already, in a deal or something.
So it's very a la carte. You pick which
Yes.
you want, which is amazing. Because let's face it, every artist has kind of unique needs. If we could cookie cutter this, obviously it would be a lot easier. But
right,
that's what makes it so interesting, because everybody has slightly nuanced needs, and that's great.
Yeah.
Are there any limitations on the release planner between free and paid versions?
Yeah. So with like I mentioned a little bit earlier, if you're on a paid plan, you have unlimited checklists, you have unlimited like planners and all of those things. But if you're on a free planner, unfortunately, it's not unlimited access.
Got it. I've got another question here. They're asking if there are any big names or labels or even companies that already use IndieFlow. I know you're quite a younger company, so I don't know where you're at in that process.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we really have artists of all sizes on our platform. One of our artists, Puppet, is going on tour right now, a lot of stops. I was looking at the list yesterday because we were posting on our socials, and it had to be 20 stops. So, we have artists who are touring. One of our artists, Oliver the Kid, is about to release an album, and he's been releasing, he's had a couple singles, and both of the singles have been on all new rock and new alternative and all editorial playlists. So we really have artists of all different sizes and in different places in their career. But no matter what, we'll help our artists grow their fan base so that they can tour and get, big placements and stuff like that. So really all different sizes. And there are also a lot of people who are managers who like use our platform and might not be distributing, but like who work with like really big artists who use it just for the project management features.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. As a manager, you obviously the roster isn't fixed. You can bring on board other people and take people off, and you can really do it. Is there a cap? Is there a minimum? Is there a cap? What is involved? So some people have huge rosters, and other ones are very small and intimate rosters.
Of course. So with our manager tier, it starts at 3 artists per package, like per subscription, but you can continue to add on artists. So as your roster changes, like we're here to adapt with you, and you can continue to add on people.
Got it. What distribution do you use? Who is your distribution platform?
Yeah. So we have our own like distribution. So we like handle all of that stuff.
Oh, so it's in-house. It's in-house distribution. Great. Okay, so you're not like outsourcing it anywhere. Okay. And is there a tool or avenue for syncs within this? You mentioned there were venues. Is there any way in which to submit your music to sync?
Yeah, that's a great question. So that's actually something that's not like a tool for whatever tier you're on, but that's something, if you're part of our artist development program, that we'll take care of. We submit our artist development program artists and pitch them to sync licensing agents like on the regular. So if you have something coming out, or if you're working on something, like we make note of it, we figure out like what it might be best to pitch to, and we handle all of that. But that's not necessarily a feature that's available to just our regular like tiered subscribers. You will have to be part of the artist development program to have us pitch on your behalf.
Got it. We obviously have a whole range of different people. We have everybody from artists who are just starting out and are very early in their career through to very experienced people. If people would like to mentor, how would they get in contact with you or IndieFlow to be able to say, hey, I'm an expert in this area. I'd love to be able to mentor and give back to the community?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as of right now, our mentors are like, we kind of already have like our established roster of mentors, but definitely that's something like internally that we've been talking about, because, you don't have to be like the biggest name in music to be a mentor. If you're just one step ahead of someone, or even at the same playing field as someone else, you always have something to learn from other people in this industry. I would definitely suggest emailing us, team@indieflow.me about it. And down the line, that is something that, have been talks about finding other ways for people of all different walks of the music industry to mentor. But I would also suggest to join our Discord channel. It's linked in our Instagram bio. And that's kind of just like an immersive music community. And we always have people like collabing and sharing resources and information. So because we don't really have like an established thing, and we think for like other people to be mentors, because we already have mentors signed on, I would definitely just like reach out in our Discord channel and just be like, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I do this, this, and this. If anyone needs help with anything, like I'd love to teach you and help you. Because again, we're all about community.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And everybody can learn from one another. None of us know everything. And
yeah,
there's lots of different genres and different needs, and just that communal knowledge is so important. So I love that you do that. A manager, if he's wanted to start out at an individual pay level for a year, but then he gets to add 2 or 3 other people to his roster, if he's already paid for a year, how simple is the upgrade process? I mean, if you're already paid through for a year, but you add all these other things, how would that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you can add like other artists at any time if you're on a manager subscription. And of course you can upgrade if you're on a free tier to an emerging tier, or an emerging tier to a manager tier at any part of your IndieFlow journey. We of course encourage it, and we love that you're enjoying the platform so much to upgrade. So it's simple. You can just go on our platform in our like paywall to upgrade. And of course, like always, and with everything, like if you have any questions, you can just email the team email and we'll just get it taken care of.
Very cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
On the release, I saw there were ISRWC codes. Do you issue those? Do people have to get them in advance?
Yeah, we take care of all of that stuff. So when you're distributing, or I guess releasing with us, we'll register you with your PRO. There's a way to connect that on our platform. We'll register you with Song Trust. Like, we do all of those things. So all you have to do is just upload your music to our platform, and we'll handle the rest.
Right. So if people are pitching up and they're so early they don't have a PRO, would you help them with that registration?
Yeah, we can help with that as well.
Right. Okay. You got everything covered. The venues that you mentioned, what sort of level are they? Are they just right across the board, or
Yeah.
venues everywhere? And is
Yeah.
this, are the venues US? Are they certain markets? Because I know that you have people everywhere. So where are those venues?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So our venues, like, it's like organized by like region, and on the platform, you can also see like the capacity at the venue. Because that's of course like super important when you're pitching. But yeah, we have venues like all over the place. Right now we don't have international venues in the pitching through the platform, but you can get a copy of your EPK and you can send it to anyone. So you don't like, pitching through our platform isn't the only way. You can use a link and pitch to anyone, whether it be a publication, someone for playlisting, or a venue that's, you know, not in the US.
No, so you're not landlocked. That's
Yeah.
Wonderful. Got a few more questions here. Is the artist development program mentioned that includes sync and pitching? Is that part of the emerging artist paid tier, or is it another tier or selection process? Where does that slide into your programming?
Yeah, great question. So it's not automatically included in the emerging artists plan. That's like a totally like separate like selection process outside of, you know, the regular suite of tools that are available to anyone using the platform.
Okay. If somebody, sorry, another question here. If we have a management team, do we sign up for multiple plans? If it's one plan, how many people within the team can access it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I can't 1000% answer that with certainty, but what I will say is I believe that you just need one, and you can invite like as many people that you might want to invite onto it. And you can share the documents with anyone, like your release plans and all of those things with anyone who is on your management team.
Okay. And I'm presuming that you will want to, for certain things, you want certain people and then other people on other parts.
For sure. Yeah.
Any other questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace, or reach out to IndieFlow.
Right.
Because as you witnessed, they have some incredible people there. I'm friends with some of them. Thomas and I have known each other for many years. And Alison and I have also worked together. And I just, every time I turn around, you've just got, and even on your mentors, I'm like, I know Millie, and I'm seeing names that I know and love and trust. So you're obviously attracting wonderful people. So this is fantastic. Well, thank you for being here. You've got a wealth of knowledge and experience, and you know, we love learning from other folks in the business. So this has just been great, and just walking us through everything that IndieFlow has to offer. And quite honestly, I sense there's always more things that you're going to be adding. So this is the beginning of many more times we're able to do this.
Yes.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody who attended. We're going to do the same thing. Well, different, but we're back again next week, same time, same place. With Sync Summit, they're going to be hosting a masterclass on the importance of metadata for sync and the discovery process in getting your sync placed. So we'll be doing that. Until then, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And Jordan and Kiba, we love this with you today. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Sharon, and thank you everyone at MMF-US for the platform. And thank you so much, Kiba, for talking about your experience with IndieFlow.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure.
Sure.